talk about just being honest with, if you want to create the life that you want to create, it's going to be inconvenient. And how can you embrace that inconvenience? Okay, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about 3 mindset shifts and actions that you can take that will serve you to do this. We need to be radically honest with ourselves and take self-ownership. And we're going to talk about what it takes to create a dream life and a dream business. Okay, again, it's going to be inconvenient. If you want a great business, the process to building it will be inconvenient. If you want a good body, the process of building that will be inconvenient. If you want good health, the process will be inconvenient. It's way more convenient to go through a drive-through, fast food drive-through, than it is to cook healthy meals, right? It is inconvenient to have the things that we want in life. But it's really, we need to understand inconvenience now or inconvenience later. Right? So we're going to talk about that today. We will also be talking about, so let's just talk about health for a moment, right? If you talk to someone who has lost 50 pounds, maybe even, 70, 100, even 15 pounds, and you ask them, how was it? Was it a convenient process for you to do this? They're all going to say that it wasn't, right? And so many people, for that reason, that they're not willing to pay the price of inconvenience now, are just not gonna, quote unquote, lose the weight, right? If we're talking about sticking to this example, even though they understand the benefits of losing weight, right? So meal prepping, going to the gym, shifting your mindset, shifting your identity, the hard conversations you have to have with your friends and family when you don't want to eat certain things, right? It's a thing, it's a real thing. And it's not convenient, right? The point is, inconvenience is a challenge. It's not easy, right? However, in the long run, convenience is a lot worse, right? And I mean, I guess we can say, and we'll talk about that later, but actually we're going to talk about that right now, which is the first thing that we need to consider is that convenience never lasts. Right? At some point, the person who is obese will most likely get sick, right? And they're going to have to deal with the inconvenience of doctor's appointments and medication, et cetera, not being able to do the things they want to with their loved ones, not being able, if they have children, not being able to do the things that they want to with their children, having more restrictions around traveling, not being able to, their bones and whatever, their joints, not being able to sustain their body weight, and so walking becomes painful. That's not convenient, right? So it's inconvenience now or inconvenience later. There's no such thing as convenience always. Right? Convenience does not last. Okay, so let's talk about finances. A lot of my clients, inflation is truly killing them. They were like just getting by before, and now they're just like barely able to get by. Okay. And a lot of people, they know that they need to increase their income, but it's not convenient to do that. Definitely not convenient to maybe start a business, start a side hustle, get a second job. It's not convenient because then they need to say no to social commitments. They need to spend less time with the people that they care about, that they love, right? Et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of reasons why people talk themselves out of increasing their income, even though they know that it would be super beneficial, right? Losing weight, even though they know being healthier is better. That's it, right? It's the same thing. So inconvenience now, by finding ways to grow your income, or you do it later, right? In a lot of different ways. Maybe you put everything on a line of credit or on credit cards, and then you're like, oh my God, it's costing me $100,000 of interest to pay this off because I didn't want to inconvenience myself and get a second job, right? Really what it is. And I see this all the time. A lot of people, myself included in the past, I've had debt and I didn't realize that how much interest this debt was costing me. And when I did, I was like, it's time to do something about it, right? So if you're like not understanding that, then get the big picture of the long-term downsides of the inconvenience now, right? And not just that, I mean, when it comes to finances, So stressful to be not able to afford to live, really, or to be able to, that's one thing, but then to be able to create your dream life, that's a whole other thing too, right? It causes anxiety, it can damage relationships. And I know if you're a parent, that if you're under financial stress, and I'm experiencing firsthand that it just becomes way harder to be patient and present with our kids. Okay, so I think we understand that now. Convenience doesn't last, so it's up for you to choose, right? When you live a life of convenience, you're at odds with living a life of greatness. So keep in mind that comfort, perceived comfort now, or inconvenience now, and real comfort later. Okay, I'm telling you, option 2, way better. All right, the second shifts that we can look at is start by doing the inconvenient things first. This is a big one, right? Oh, I'll do it later today. Oh, I'll do it in next week. Oh, I'll do it in whatever. And then next thing you know, or like, let's just talk about applying for a job or starting a new business, something like that, right? Yeah, you know what? It's too busy right now. I'm going to do it in the summer. And then in the summer, you're going to say, oh, it's too busy right now, or I just want to relax. I worked hard all year. Just want to relax this summer, and I'll do it in September. And then in September, there's going to be another reason and another reason, and you're never going to do it, right? And then the little things that we have to do on a daily basis, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing, right? It's not convenient to do. And so we put it at the end of our to-do list at the end of the day, and then we're too tired and we don't do it. And then we like, oh, it's been a week, it's been a month, and I still haven't done it, right? So do it first. Do it first thing in the morning. I've started to shift that, especially with exercising and certain things in my business that I don't love doing. And now I do them first thing in the day. I feel so good. This is the thing, right? When we do those things in the morning, there's 2 big benefits to it. One, we stack mental wins. We're like, oh my God, this is a hard thing. And I've been telling myself I'm going to do it for months and weeks, and I'm not doing it. And now look, I did it this morning. And then you go into your day feeling like a winner, right? And you go to sleep at night feeling like a winner. So the more that you can get those things done, not only do you feel better right now, but you're going to feel better long term, because it's giving you different results. It's most likely going to give you the results that you desire, right? So stop avoiding them. Embrace inconvenience in your life, because you understand that comfort and convenience never last, and you rather have the inconvenience now than later, right? The unfortunate byproduct of avoiding these things is, the bigger picture too, is that, you know, we never fully step into the best version of ourselves and step into what we're fully capable of. Because I think that, you know, this was me a year ago. I knew that I was capable of so much, but I didn't have the right vehicles. I knew that I didn't have the right vehicles up until a year ago to be able to fully step into what I was capable of, right? And it's not fun going through life knowing you're capable of so much and feeling like you're held back and you're not being your greatest version of yourself. When you step into that, you feel so good. Okay, so stack those mental wins by doing it early in the day. And then the last thing, the third thing, is replacing habits with, or the habits you currently have, with healthier habits, right? Looking at the big picture of things. So losing weight, it's just, so many people can relate to it, so we're just going to stick with that. But you know, first, if you can really step into replacing the habits that are not serving you with ones that are, okay? So for example, if you put your kids to bed at night, I'm just going to speak to parents here, but you know, you can get the picture even if you don't have children. But if you put your kids to bed at night and then you're like, oh, I'm exhausted, you go sit on the couch and you munch on some junk food, maybe, right? A little bit of popcorn, a little bit of chips, maybe a little bit of candy, whatever, okay? And you know, you've been doing that for 4 years. I'm kind of talking a story about myself here. And you've been doing that for 4 years, and then you realize, darn, I'm like 15 pounds heavier than I was 4 years ago. What happened, right? And so if you want to shift that, obviously both you and I know that exercising will help that. Not munching at night will help with that, right? So instead of like sitting down on the couch and watching your favorite episode or your favorite TV show or movie, whatever, at the end of the day, what if you instead got on the treadmill and watched your episode on your iPad or TV, whatever, on your treadmill or on the spin bike or whatever, right? Just replacing the sitting down on the couch and eating with walking or running or biking or whatever you can do. And then you can still listen to what you want to, right? But you're moving your body and you're not eating, right? Things like that. Are you getting the results you want in a week? Absolutely not. Did it take me a week to put on that weight? No, it took me 4 years to put it on, right? So it's unrealistic for us to think that, oh, I'm going to walk on the treadmill for a week and I'm going to lose the weight, right? Or I'm going to start a new business and, within 4 months, 3 months, I'll have all the money that I need. I'll start this side hustle, within a few months, I'll have everything that I need. Everything will be different. No, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes consistency, it takes mindset shifts, right? But when you can build the habits of doing the inconvenient things first into your life over time, and not just even first, just when you build a habit of doing the inconvenience things, right? It's not super convenient. It's way better to lay on the couch than it is to walk on the treadmill and, maybe watch a show or listen to a good podcast or something like that. But if you get into the habit of stacking that, what do you think will happen after a month, 6 months, a year, 10 years? You're going to realize that you're living the life that you always imagined you could be living, right? So paying the price of inconvenience has no guarantee that you're going to succeed, right? If you walk on the treadmill instead of lay on the couch at night and not eat, it's not guaranteed that you're going to lose weight. There's maybe underlying factors that we need to address, especially as females. There's other things that we need to look at, right? It's not always black and white or as easy as it is for males. But if you don't inconvenience yourself and confront the difficult things in front of you, you'll have absolutely no chance at ending up where you want to be in life, right? So it's not guaranteed that by changing that habit of exercising instead of sitting on the couch will guarantee the success that you want with your weight or the way your body looks. But if you don't, it's guaranteed that it will not happen, right? So I'm here. This is what I do. I help people grow a financial brokerage from the ground up. I lead them. I coach them. I train them to do this, right? So if financial stress is a thing that you are experiencing, or if you're just looking for a challenge in your life, right? Then let's chat, because so many people are not able to afford their dream life. And that can not easily, but that can change if you do the right things, right? If you stack the right things week after week, day after day, month after month, year after year, pretty soon you're going to realize that you can have the dream life, or that you're living your dream life, right? And start now. This is, in my opinion, the best vehicle there is to create not only change in your life, but the only way to create change in your life is by creating change in other people's lives, which is beautiful, absolutely beautiful, right? So if you want to chat about it, no strings attached, but just to see what it's all about, there's a link in the description below for you to book yourself right into my calendar. There's also more information there that you can look at. But I also want to hear from you. Please drop a comment below and tell me what resonated with you in this video. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much. Have a great day.